Hi guys, today I have the X-Files book by Jane Goldman. I don't know if you can see it. Jane Goldman, the X-Files book. I think it's 1995. Yeah, I think it's 1995. Book of the Unexplained, Volume 1. I only have Volume 1. Maybe get the Volume 2 when I finish reading this one. And if you like the book, please buy it. So the owners don't come to me trying to kill me. Well, I don't think they'll be bothered because it's that old, but if you like the book, just buy it. We're gonna skip this, the first bit there in the side of the page. The thing. It says it's £15.99. £15.99, which I don't think is expensive. I think it's inexpensive. Like, I think it'd be worth at least £20. If not more. Maybe I say £20 because I'm a cheapskate, but probably more than that. The X-Files book of the Unexplained by Jane Goldman, based on the series created by Chris Carter. The name sounds familiar. Like, isn't there an Agent Carter or something? The X-Files? Don't know. Okay, let's get going. First published in Great Britain by Simon & Schuster, 1995. An imprint by of Simon & Schuster Limited, a Viacom company. Viacom and the ones that make the game, isn't it Capcom? That seems bizarre. Dedication. This book is for Jonathan, Betty, and Harvey, with all the love in the world. Acknowledgements, blah blah blah. Introduction. Okay, we start the book. If I don't accidentally destroy it first. Is the audio okay? Yeah. X-Files Shadows. Case notes by Agent Dana Scully. Oh, like in the game. There are many aspects of this case which remain unexplained. We still do not know who killed the two men, later identified as members of the extremist group, the Isfahan, who attacked Lauren Kite on 22nd of September, nor the armed intruders who were subsequently found dead at her abode. Nor can I find any medical rationale for the highly anomalous post-mortem findings on their bodies. It would seem impossible, for instance, that comminution? I don't know what that means. Never heard that before. Of the hyoid bone and crushing of the larynx. The larynx is here, I think. Like they've been choked. And esophagus could take place without any evidence whatsoever of external abrasions and tissue damage. And yet this was the case with all 4 victims. So basically they had like damage in their throat, in there and there, but there was no marks outside on the skin. So they were like, how the fuck did this happen? so they don't know. Furthermore, I am unable to explain the photograph taken by Agent Mulder of the upper window of Lauren Kite's house, which clearly depicts the figure of her former employer and friend Howard Graves, a man who had died 3 weeks previously. I found Lauren Kite to be a sincere and incredible source of information, despite my inability to accept that she gained knowledge of the murder of Howard Graves through paranormal means, allegedly by communication with Graves himself. I believe that this is her honest perception of the situation and not a ruse to conceal her complicity in any criminal undertakings. Although I participated in the warranted search of HTG Industrial Technologies premises, I was not present in Robert Dorlund's office when the carefully concealed microdisc was discovered. What microdisc? He didn't say anything about microdisc before, and this is the first page. Maybe they'll tell us in a minute. I am therefore unable to corroborate Agent Mulder's claims that his whereabouts were revealed by a spontaneous supernatural occurrence. Unfinished business, and there's a picture. There's pictures on it, so you should really buy the book because there's so many pages, and it's really nice. There's pictures on it and everything of Dana. I think it's called Dana Scully or something, and the other agent, and there's loads of pictures everywhere in the book. They're not paying me for saying this. I'm just saying this so you will read it because it's a good book. It seems like a good book anyway. We just started it. Shadows is the X-Files take on the classic campfire ghost story format. A chain of weird events followed by the revelation of a restless soul with a motive, making everything slip tenebrously into place. According to co-writer Glenn Morgan, who has reservations about the episode, its birth was utilitarian. The network was saying, we want Mulder and Scully to help people, and we want a ghost story. We took it upon ourselves to do this topic to get them our back, which is a bad way to go about it. Morgan does not believe in ghosts, but finds poltergeist phenomena intriguing, that there could somehow be energy in the body that could cause you to throw something across the room without even knowing it, and then is interpreted as being a ghost. But Morgan resisted the temptation to make the heroine of Shadows, Lauren Kite, responsible for the spooky going on. Romantically, in my mind, it was her boss, he confirms, and so Shadows got its tormented soul murder victims Howard Graves. Of course, a ghost story primary purpose is to chill us, spook us, gross us out, and the horrible ultimately death element serves that end deliciously. But it's interesting to consider it is a crossover with another timeless literary theme: triumph over adversity. In ghost stories, the adversity is death, and the triumph is that the wronged person refuses to allow the small matter of being 6 feet under to get in the way of pursuing their goal. whether it be attaining justice or just hanging out scaring the pants of people, even when we throw in lines about being condemned to walk this earth for eternity. You can bet that, if only subconsciously, we still figure it as an option that beats oblivion hands down. So here in Shadows we have that element too. Howard Graves is essentially the little guy, the disadvantaged hero, and you can't get much more disadvantaged than being dead, fighting against the towering evil, in this case corporate treachery and violent political terrorism. He watches over his beloved surrogate daughter, taking her tormentors in hand and meting out justice fairly and squarely. The crotchety, domineering co-worker gets hot coffee in her lap. The parade of morally bereft hitmen get their larynxes crushed. He makes it known that his suicide was murder, exposes his company terrorist liaison? What the heck does that mean? I think it means like when two people get together for a plan, but I've never seen that word before like that. Maybe it was a mistake of the book. And makes damn sure his duplicitous colleague pays. His unfinished business settled, it is hinted rewarded with eternal peace. Just as most ghost stories are essentially chronics of somebody's life after death, most real-life ghost encounters get pegged with the same interpretation. But before we can even begin to ask whether the existence of ghosts proves that death is a doorway rather than a brick wall, we have to ask whether ghosts exist. Henry Haverley Price, a respected Oxford don and former president of the Society for Psychical Research, described the question, "Do you believe in ghosts?" as one of the most ambiguous which can be asked. He felt that one should ask instead, "Do you believe that people sometimes experience apparitions?" To which his own answer was a resounding affirmative. He asserts no one who examines the evidence can come to any other conclusion. Instead of disputing the facts, we must try to explain them. John Spencer, along with his wife Anne Spencer, is one of Britain's leading researchers in his field. Together, they work with the ASPR, an Association for the Scientific Study of Anomalous Phenomena, ASSAP, investigating claims, logging data, and hoping for the breakthrough that might begin to bring explanations to light. Spencer feels that, like UFO sightings, a high percentage of ghost phenomena have a logical explanation. I think we can be pretty sure that there are some genuine mysteries out there, he asserts, but right now we have no answers, only questions. One major problem is that data itself suggests many different phenomena which may not even be related to one another and provides little insight into understanding any of them, let alone into understanding the mystery of death itself. Even if we choose to study only the manifestations which seem to suggest a clear connection to the dead, which means leaving out other ghost phenomena such as apparitions of the living, ambiguous presences, and poltergeists, unseen forces which appear to manipulate their environment, we're still left with a truckload of categories. And that's the end of that section. because next time we have crisis apparitions. So that was the first section of the book. This is how thick the book is.